It's Week 13 of the National Football League. And we'll get a look here at Trey Lance. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Ravens and the Vikings on Monday Night Prime Time.
Next to some of the northernmost waters of the beautiful Chesapeake Bay, we're at M&T Bank Stadium near Baltimore's Inner Harbor. From up in the booth, Kate Scott, Brock Hewitt with you for this contest, and pretty obvious what this one is framed around, right, partner?
What do you think, the two quarterbacks?
There you go, nailed it. The two quarterbacks who are both right now among some of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, we know what they can do with their talent, right? We have seen their arm on display.
Justin Tucker has this all teed up. And we're underway from the bank. Return coming from the 6. Finds some space. He's past the 30. Are they going to run him down? And a huge return sets up the offense on the opposite side of the field. So following the return, looks like somebody's shaken up. Trainers have to determine how severe this may be. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. A handoff for Robinson, running right. And he's got it down into the red zone at the 16. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2. Staying with Robinson. And not much for him there. He's down to the 15-yard line. Call it no gain, maybe 1 at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2. A toss now to Robinson. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Kid, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Cool, all lined up and ready to boot this one away. Starting from the 5. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So the Ravens offense taking over for the first time here. And we'll get a look at the guy calling the shots, their 5th-year quarterback.
Just an all-around great performance from him last week, Kate, in the win. Those 2 touchdowns he had played a big part in the victory, no question. But so did keeping it clean, not throwing a pick. You want to become friendly with your own defense? Make sure they don't have any extra possessions to defend. He did his job, and so did his teammates.
Straight ahead, it's Connor. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Cole Holcomb there on the stop. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 30-yard line.
Mitchell gets it from the gun. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They push it forward for a yard. That brings up 3rd and 8.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Throwing is Lance. He puts some air under a deep throw. That's grabbed inside the 30. He does it. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens pull ahead 6-3 in the 1st. George Pickens the touchdown. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Tucker adds the PAT. And the Ravens one up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. For that defense, who puts a sack on the board.
And he found some running room for a nice gain. That carry gets him 8, and there's another 8 to go now on 3rd down. Shotgun snap for Purdy. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Fair catch, but we can see both a flag and a punter on the ground. Let's see if this is a call for 5 or 15 yards.
Defense.
Thought he had a chance to block it, but he ends up wiping out the kicker instead, and that's going to award their offense a 1st down.
Automatic 1st down.
This drive should have been over, partner, but running into the punter gives him new life and this 1st down. From the gun is Purdy. Completes. It's Bijan Robinson. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Going right side, Robinson with it. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. That was Micah Parsons making that play. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Purdy looking to throw. Into the hands of Schultz. And this one does not go far.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. The Ravens and Trey Lance headed back out on offense. And he's been somebody who can get the scoring done with his legs just as much as his arm. You can see he's top 5 for touchdowns among NFL QBs. They've got a man in motion. This one's caught. It's Andrews near the sideline. And he's up across the 20 before going out of bounds. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Running out of the gun with Mitchell. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
To the air, 3rd and long. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And it's going to be Vikings football. 1st down throw by Purdy. Headed out right. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And they're going to have to regroup after this one.
I love a good bootleg just like every other quarterback does. And bootlegs are most effective, Kate, when you're running it first and you deceive that defense. But if you're not running it, or it's a poor fake, or you got a defense that is sound, Well, you have the opportunity to get hit in the face in less than 2 seconds, just like that.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Purdy setting up that play action. Can't find anyone open. He's forced to throw it away.
There was almost no resistance offered against the rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he'll scrape together what he can on the return and gets it back to the 20. The Ravens and George Pickens set for this next possession. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Sending the tight end in motion left. Lance. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Now following that completion, we see a man shaken up. Officials calling for a pause as he gets looked at. So the big play gets him just beyond midfield. It's 1st down. Here's Lance now. Catch is made by Elijah Mitchell. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, the defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
That's into the hands of Moore. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. They'll get 18 yards there. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They'll throw it again. It's Pickens on the slant. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the 2 defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Cole Holcomb there on the stop. So we're through one as everyone tries to stay warm on what has been a very cold night. Neither side separating much so far. Back to the bank in just a moment. Back at beginning of the 2nd quarter, Ravens in possession. They're moving it well, but now face a 3rd and short. Again, this is Mitchell. And he's brought down for a loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
Staring at 4th down, the Ravens will go with Justin Tucker to try for 3. It's about 43 yards for it. Tucker's kick is up and good. And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Vikings taking the field on offense. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
Their rookie out of Colorado, the one to bring him down. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Play action now with Purdy. It will hit Robinson, complete. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Pick up a 5 on that play, and it'll bring up a Minnesota first down. Off the play fake, he'll throw. He's throwing deep to the left side. Brought in inside the 20. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. This is hauled in by Myers. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. 2nd and 6 coming up here. To throw again, it's Purdy. And what a risk, but he can't hang on. No interception, but nearly a turnover in the end zone. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Back to throw. Here's Purdy. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he's tackled for a short gain.
It's plays like that, Kate, right wrong. Where I sit and judge defense, I judge the awareness. I judge how well that coordinator's got him equipped to see what's going on the field, and not just see it, but attack it. And they devoured that screen game on 3rd down.
The kick by Lutz is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Returning it from the 4. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Baltimore running its offense out now. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Back to throw, it's Lance. That throw finds Pickens. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one goes for 25 yards. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore. They send a receiver in motion right. To the air, Lance. Has him on the quick hitter. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. Stops by Chop Robinson.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but
breaks through, and he might break away. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Now it's Lance. Finds his man. It's Ricky Pearsall. And he's got it inside the 15 before going out. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Looking to throw, Lance. Anticipated the quick staccato pass there. It's knocked away. Incomplete.
I'll tell you what that deflection right there, Kate, tells me. That defense was following and reading the quarterback's eyes. Knew exactly where that throw was going. And it takes a little bit of intuition, a little bit of feel. He's able to get his hands on it and knock it out of bounds.
Intercepted in the end zone. Charvarius Ward picks it off. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now it's Purdy. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down. Third and a lone yard coming up. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. He lets a heater go deep, middle of the field. Oh, and he can't follow through. He had the deep shot for a moment, Brock, but he bobbles it and drops it. Minnesota lined up in punt formation. Maddengm, the one to send it away. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Takes it in at the 21. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And unless the coverage adjusts to slow him down, Brock, he's going to be busy and a productive target for them throughout the rest of this contest. Connor trying the right side. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This game has evolved so much over the years, but there's just certain times, there's certain moments and flashes of greatness like that that you see Dick Butkus, that you see Jack Lambert, that you see Mike Singletary. These middle linebackers stuffing a run. This guy in particular, like the greats used to do.
That play good for 17 and a first down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Connor on the inside give. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Cole Holcomb there on the stop. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
That brings us to the 2-minute warning at the Inner Harbor. The Ravens leading near the break. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Throwing his Lance. He's got Andrews. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. Moore's got it. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Here's Lance. Able to get it to Moore. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now he'll throw off the play fake. He smartly won't risk something here and just chucks it away.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last second attempt to get rid of it.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Taken in on the right side by Pearsall.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL. Everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down? A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Jones. This return makes it up to the 25. The Vikings getting one more drive here before the break. They don't have much time left, but facing a small deficit, they could try to get this into field goal range. Only half a minute to go in our half. Let's see how they begin the drive. Purdy on first down. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. He gets this one to Myers. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Shotgun snap for Purdy. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. Purdy throwing here on first. Brought in by Juju. And he goes out. Just needed one more step there to reach midfield. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the gun is Purdy. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. He's back to throw. Schultz with the catch. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. A final throw before the break. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nakobe Dean. And he takes this one back for the pick six. Well, they had to try something there on 4th down, but that throw played right into what the defense was anticipating, Brock, and they make it hurt that much worse by taking the turnover back for 6.
Hey, I'm all for these great group celebrations, and, I'm not Captain No Fun, but one of these times I'd like to see that player run that football over to the D coordinator who predicted that play was coming and really made the right call to create that opportunity.
And the kick is good, so they add 7 to their lead on the final play of our first half. So we've reached halftime here in Baltimore. The Ravens flying into the break with a lead. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone. This is the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get you caught up on what's going on around the National Football League.
And I guess we'll follow up with the rest of the NFL after this one ends. We're moving right along to the start of the second half. Koo all lined up and ready to boot this one away. Has this at the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Ravens headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down. They send one of the tight ends in motion right. 2nd and 10 now. Short pass brought in. This is ahead for about 5. Stops by Chop Robinson.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Mitchell on the give, headed left. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Award that tackle to the effort of Leatu Latu. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. This finds Mitchell, complete. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Brought down by Julian Blackman.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
He was too far downfield at the time of the pass. Gotta stay within a yard of the line. That'll back him up.
Still second down.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. That's into the hands of Moore. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Oh, love this. He gets another one. Keep feeding that fullback, baby. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Now, after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. All right, here we go. Second down. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Catch made by Mitchell. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
Mitchell takes it straight ahead. And tough sledding for him. Only room to get it to the 30. Just 1 yard there. Now a tough call to make on 4th and short inside of field goal range.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That's a pretty clear plan of attack by the back from the very start. Found the lane quickly, didn't hesitate, knew exactly what he needed to get past the marker.
27-yard line.
Throwing from the gun here. And a man is there to knock that away.
With all due respect to some of the great linebackers back in the day, to play the position today, man, you've got to be versatile. You can't just be a come up and stuff the run. You got to play coverage. And these defenses more and more rely on you to break up throws just like that. That defense, it'll give up that completion every time. They don't just like it, they love it. Because it creates a fun little race between everybody coming downhill to go make that tackle, or in this case, run him right out of bounds.
That throw finds Pickens. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Moore going in motion left. From the red zone now. That's going to be caught by Mitchell. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. And it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
And in for the Baltimore touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on football fields. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
Tucker on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens stretch their lead to 21. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Vikings offense back to the field now. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. Got him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is picked up by the Ravens. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
The home teams ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They send a man in motion. They go play action on first. He brings it in. Touchdown, Baltimore. So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. It kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, and when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
Tucker on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens continue piling on to this lead. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
On the return, here's Jones. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Vikings now set to take the field. And Brock, I know the goal is always points every drive, but I think just as big a goal, got to play clean football here. You cannot give it away for a 3rd consecutive possession.
Yeah, we call that rebuilding some confidence in yourself as a group, right? Just to execute without the mistakes. Pros, you can shake off a turnover with ease, but back-to-back, even the seasoned vets have a little trouble getting past that.
Now it's Purdy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Backfield is empty as they motion him outright. Into the hands of Schultz. And he's brought down. They're spotting this one right at the 20.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Now the Ravens all set for another possession. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays that followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Running right with Mitchell. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Gets this one to Andrews. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. And that was B.J. Ojulari on the stop. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now. 3rd and long for him here. That's caught for the first. Gets it to the 15. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens trying to end this before the final quarter. George Pickens the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That one splits the uprights. And the Ravens grow their lead yet again. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Jones. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Time we offered some serious blanket praise for this entire group defensively. The guys up front, they've certainly generated the pressure. Everybody on the back end in coverage, well, they're holding down their assignments to delay these throws. This is going to be one tomorrow, one fun tape to watch, because 6 sacks, it's hard to come by in this league. We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core, football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
3rd down give to Robinson. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. The Vikings have it to start the 4th, and given that score, they're going to need points every time out from here on. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Purdy throwing here. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Let's be real clear. There is nothing lucky about number 7 at all for this quarterback. The 7th time he's been taken to the ground for a sack. This defense, they made adjustments. They're incorporating a variety of different looks and blitzes. And it just seems like, Kate, constantly they are a step ahead of whatever this offense is trying to do to protect this quarterback.
Ravens bring an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming up. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Hits him on the out route. And this one doesn't go far.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. That pass is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's an 8-yard gain. What a great call on 4th down. It keeps this drive moving. And he's brought down for a loss.
As a play caller, Kate, I would always be a little cautious of a 1st down draw. I like it better when that defense is anticipating pass. Well, they were only anticipating getting the backfield and making that running back feel the pain.
Here's 2nd and 11. That's knocked away by a defender, incomplete. That throw was looking for Brandon Ayuk. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Shotgun snap for Purdy. That throw's knocked away and incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Desperation time here on fourth. And it falls incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Gain on the play brings up 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Mitchell up the middle. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here's Mitchell again. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Throwing from the gun. Able to get it to Moore. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Now there's the flag. Looks like the jump came from the left side of the line.
False start, offense.
One of the most common penalties in the sport, and the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards. They'll run here following the penalty. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. Offense to the line for 2nd down.
Pickup brings up 2nd and 12 at the 24-yard line.
They go play action here. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
And 12 yards to go.
Throwing with a blitz on the way. Andrews with the catch. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs.
Man, what a battle of wills we just got to see. Fighting in the trenches on a 4th down run. Trying to play conservative, keep it on the ground to power it across, but there was no overcoming a front just as equally motivated to get off the field.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. From the gun is Purdy. He gets this one to Smith-Schuster. And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one, and it brings up 3rd down. Looking to throw, Purdy. Got it, man. Robinson has it. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, that's one of the moments as a QB you just feel like those defenders are in your huddle. To drop them for a loss on third down can't happen. That's an incredibly quick read by the defense.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Oh, what a stiff... Fights off a tackle, but he lost the ball. He left the ball behind. And they dodge a turnover there on the return. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. 3 yards to pick up that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. That's the 2-minute warning here from Baltimore. Ravens getting closer to their 10th win of the season. Throw on third down. This finds Mitchell complete. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I'll tell you, that is a humbling moment to see a completed third down pass actually go backwards instead of towards the sticks.
The Ravens getting ready for the punt. And this will be his second effort of the contest. Got 46 on his first punt, and this one's pushing a little more distance. And he's brought down before the return gets far. 58 yards on the punt there. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. And they'll get one final chance in a game that, to put it mildly, Brock, has been a bit of a miserable experience for them. First down throw by Purdy. Searches from the pocket. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down. So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Back to throw. Here's Purdy. Oh, tried forcing it to the slant. It's intercepted. And the Ravens get the football as he makes his third interception of this season.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game without 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind and press forward ahead.
We see the Ravens making their way out now. And they should just be able to kneel out what time remains. There's 3 timeouts defensively still available, but using them is not going to alter this outcome. Now run. This is Mitchell. And without much room, he's going to go down at the 32-yard line. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
The give now to Mitchell. Room to run inside the 20. And they finally get to him at the 15. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. So it ends as a win for the Ravens. And this is exactly how they wanted to go into that bye week, partner, with a victory and some positives to build on in that nice extra time off. So that's it for us here. Brock Heward, our crew, I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from Baltimore.